Okay, for the record, this is case number, position number 33 on today's calendar, which is October 12th, 2022 dispossessory calendar. My name is Brad Gardner. I'm going to be the judge presiding over this matter. It's case number 2022 CM 09397, Chung Ho versus Deborah Campbell. Mr. Ho is present and Ms. Campbell is present. Mr. Ho, I'm going to ask you a couple guided questions just so that we can get this matter properly situated. What was the nature of your agreement with Ms. Campbell?
She's a tenant, and according to the Mr. Ho, she's been a tenant for a few years, and just the last few years, it's having an issue.
Hold on 1 second. I was referring to Mr. Ho.
I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, Judge.
Are you acting as an interpreter for Mr. Ho?
Yeah, I kind of work for him, managing some of the property. So he asked me for the assistant today. I can translate for you.
No. I just gotta make sure that the record is clear.
Yes, sir.
You are a property manager for Mr. Ho.
Yes, sir.
You have dealt directly with Ms. Campbell.
Only on a couple of occasions. The first case that Mr. Ho asked me for support, so I spoke with her over the phone, and I guess it was everything was clear, everything was smooth. And then I guess after that, there was some issues. So Mr. Ho filed again for eviction. And then the judge said that since you filed for the eviction and after you file, you collect money from her, then the case is no good.
Yes.
So since then, since from May until now, Miss Deborah hasn't, respond or pay for the rent or anything. And her reason was that because Mr. Ho gave her a rental contract, it was too long and she doesn't like it.
Okay. So first thing in litigation is that anyone that testifies has to have personal knowledge.
Yes, sir.
Do you have personal knowledge of the agreement that was reached between Mr. Ho and Ms. Campbell?
Yes, the last case, yes.
When I say the agreement and case, those are two separate things.
Yes, sir.
So I need to be clear. Do you have personal knowledge of the terms of the agreement between Mr. Ho and Ms. Campbell?
Yes, sir. Mr. Ho explained it to me.
Have you seen the contract?
Yes, I was the one that helped him with the contract. It was just a basic lease contract.
Okay. So identify yourself, please, sir.
My name is Jacques. Last name is Chapuis.
Would you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you swear affirm in testimony you give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were the terms of the lease contract?
It was at the beginning, the lease. Do you want me? You just want me to clarify the contract, right?
I believe I asked a pretty clear question. I mean, so please do not presuppose what you think I want to hear. Just please answer the question that I ask. Okay. What were the terms of the agreement?
The agreement was that it was a monthly rent of $1,400. And the contract was for another year or so. I don't have the contract in front of me as we speak.
Got it.
But Mrs. Deborah never accepted that contract, Your Honor.
When was the contract presented to Ms. Campbell?
I think it was, what month did you give me the contract?
Tháng 4.
And it was April, sir, of 2023.
Okay. And she never signed it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Mà bà giữ luôn. Bà có đưa lại cho mình đâu. Anh nói là bà để coi, bà coi để bà cài như vậy, bà kéo dài cả tháng trời. Hôm ấy tôi cùng ra tòa. Bà dự ký.
Okay. Just so you understand, this process is a simple process. First thing judge has to do is establish that there was a landlord-tenant relationship. Second thing the judge has to establish is that there is a breach in that. And there has been non-payment for at least 30 days. So it's not a whole 5-hour period. Ms. Barksdale, who do you need to meet with next?
Your Honor, if I may, if you would please indulge me, I have 4 I need to get moving out of here. If I could give you the consent order on these 4, starting with position number 13, and then I'll take my next group.
So, Ms. Barksdale, I'm going to allow you to move the people that you believe you need to move out.
Okay, Judge, I appreciate it.
And take that up at the end, because I need to get these cases moving. And so I don't want to hold you up as it relates to meeting with people that you need to meet with.
Okay.
So tell me the next person you need to meet.
Okay, yeah, the next person, Judge, is position number 17.
17.
Is it okay if I leave the courtroom, John?
No, you can't leave yet.
Okay.
Okay. That's going to be Ms. Carr. Ms. Carr, I'm about to move you into breakout room number 1.
Yes, sir.
And just for everyone's benefit, I am trying to be the best trained conductor that I can to move these matters along. So, Mr. Ho, Mr.
Yes, sir. I'm still here. Yes, sir.
There was an agreement, there was a lease that was presented to Ms. Campbell in April of 2023.
Yes, sir.
And she did not sign that agreement.
Yes, sir.
And at that point, it became a tenancy at will, meaning it was a month-to-month deal.
Yes, sir.
Do you believe, well, let me ask you this, not if you believe, what was the last payment received from Ms. Campbell?
The last payment, when was the last payment?
Là tháng 4.
April of 2022. April of 2022.
So when the lease was presented in April of 23,
No,
It is.
22. We still in 2022.
so I thought that there was a lease presented in April of 23. And I'm sorry, it's not
Yeah,
20.
I understand. You go.
I'm sorry.
I see all the things you're doing at the same time. I can see.
Yes, I'm sorry. So from April of 22, there's not been a payment.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Nhưng mà trả có đủ, chưa có đủ, không có đủ tiền.
Ừ.
Trả cuối nhưng mà số lượng tiền chưa có trả đủ theo cái cam kết.
Hold on. So from April of 2022, there's been no payment.
Yes, sir. The situation is before that. There was the rent wasn't paid. So between Mr. Ho and Miss Dobra Campbell, they had an agreement that since she didn't pay, the agreement was she pay a lump sum of certain amount, but then she's still missing some of the months. So Mr. Ho say at this point, he doesn't care about those previous months anymore. To make the things easier, he just start calculating in April.
Right. Okay. So before I go to you, Miss Campbell, and I'm not done with you all, Mr. Phillips,
Yes, Your Honor.
I see that you have one case. Is that your only case?
It is, Your Honor.
And it's a case where right, and you're moving to strike.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're asking for writ of possession in stanter
Yes, Your Honor. Then a money judgment prorated through today's date.
of how much?
Well, the total is $17,940.
$17,940. And what was the monthly?
Monthly rent is $1,240.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna issue that judgment today. You're free to go, Mr. Phillips.
Thank you, Your Honor. Do you want me to prepare that?
No, I'm gonna do it.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, if you can get it to me in 2 hours, yes. If not, then
Your Honor, I can get it to you in the next 20 minutes.
okay, send it to me. You have my email.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Ms. Campbell,
Good morning, Judge.
good morning. Would you raise your right hand for me, please? You
Yes,
swear affirm any statements you make during this proceeding shall be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?
yes.
Ma'am, was there a lease agreement in place between you and Mr. Ho?
Yes, sir. I moved in 2018. My lease expired in November of 2019. Before the pandemic, I kept asking. Then we went into the pandemic. So yes, I had a lease that expired November 2019.
Okay. When's the last time you made a payment on your rent?
I never stopped paying my rent. I was a school bus driver for DeKalb County. Everyone knows there was no school during the pandemic, but I got put.
Miss Campbell, Miss Campbell, let me
Yes.
tell you, just so you know, so everyone understands. When a judge asks you a direct question and you don't answer that direct question, the judge believes that you're not answering it for a reason.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to tell the whole story from the beginning, but I'm sorry.
Ma'am,
The-
I'm gonna hold on, Miss Campbell. I'm gonna let you tell your story,
Okay,
but there are some foundational things that I need to get clear from a legal perspective.
okay,
So, because it's, hey, well, what happened? Well, I walked uphill both ways in the snow all year going to school. And I just asked, how was school? You know, so the question is, when is the last time that you paid any rent to Mr. Ho?
the last time I paid rent to Mr. Hoax was December of 20. I'm sorry, November of 21, when he brought to my attention I owed him money. He filed an eviction in December. I paid him about $5,400 due to the eviction in December of 22. I paid him again January, February. And so he didn't cancel the eviction. So I waited on my court case, which was May the 28th. May the 18th, I'm sorry. So I have not paid since then because he filed another eviction right after I paid him the money and it was dismissed. So I'm confused. I never missed paying my rent, sir.
Do you have proof that you have continually paid your rent?
But I have my cashier's check from when he brought to my attention that I owe him money from 2000. So I do have cashier's check. But and when we spoke on May the 18th, after the first eviction he filed in December, I paid him like $5,400. The last time I paid him was February of 22. Because if he filed the eviction in December, the last time I paid was in February. I asked him to please go cancel the eviction and can I get a lease? He gave me a lease. So
Go ahead, ma'am. I'm sorry.
So, sir, it's confusing to me too, because I paid him, never missed a month out of 5 years I've been in this home. Never missed a month. So I do have my my receipts and the correspondence that he sent out and that he signed when I paid him the money. When I pay him the money.
Hold on 1 second. Mr. Can you please tell Mr. Ho to remain quiet or at least mute the microphone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, go ahead, Ms. Campbell.
So Judge, I never stopped paying rent out of 5 years I've been here, even during the pandemic. Only time that I did not pay rent was when he filed the eviction May the 18th. We went to court on May the 18th for eviction, but I paid him the money he asked. We never went over anything that I owe him. He just threw a number in the court. I paid the number he said, and then it's not enough. So now he want to file another eviction on May the 18th, 10 minutes after the judge dismissed his case. So I don't understand, how do I keep paying rent with an eviction? So my answer to you, the last time I paid him money for this property was in February of 2022. He filed the eviction in December of 21. And I do have a copy of the lease that they gave me. I did not understand. It's 13 pages long. Every page on this lease asks for money. And the lease was given to me in February, not April. It was February of 22.
So, Ms. Campbell, I have a real simple question for you.
Yes, sir.
If you've never not paid rent to Mr. Ho, why would you give him $5,400?
Because I was trying to explain, during the pandemic, I was a school bus driver. They don't pay into insurance. Unemployment. So every 2 weeks, I would give him $500. My monthly rent totaled up to be 90% of the rent during the pandemic. In April of 21, I was back on track paying regular rent. He tells me 9 months later, I owe him money. I ask him how much. I give him extra money in November. So December, he don't say anything to me. He just go file the eviction. I give him an extra $300 because we had a landlord-tenant relationship.
Right.
And may I state something to you, Judge?
Hold on, Miss Campbell. The short answer is yes, you may. But it sounds like what you're saying is I didn't pay on time, but I caught myself up.
That's correct. And then, well.
So ma'am, hold on.
Okay.
And I just need, people come on and they just start talking. And I'm trained to listen. So your testimony that I have never not paid rent
Correct,
was not accurate.
correct,
What's accurate is that you fell behind and then you tried to catch up.
correct, correct.
Okay, see how easy that was? So after you caught up, did you continue to pay rent, or was it a situation where, sounds like you said that after the first case got dismissed, that he went and refiled?
Correct.
Okay. And after he refiled, did he accept any payment from you?
No, I haven't heard from him.
Okay.
Can I
So yes, ma'am. And I'm gonna let you speak in 1 second, just so that you understand the way that the dispossessory stuff works. People who lease homes, apartments, homes, whatever, they're running a business. So if you were to walk into Walmart and take things off the shelf and say, well, it's the pandemic and I don't have the money to pay for these items, but I'm going to take these items and I'll pay you back later. What do you think Walmart would do?
I'm not sure, but
Well, I'll tell you, they'll put you in jail because it happens every day.
okay.
So no, and I'm going to let you speak, ma'am. I am. It's the same thing as it relates to landlord-tenant law. State of Georgia has a public policy that we don't want people just homeless out on the street. And that's why landlords are required to go through this process. And tenants show up and they either work things out or they don't. And if they don't work things out, the tenant gets 7 days to stay in the property to set their affairs in order and to move on to the next location. The tenant doesn't get to go into Walmart and take things and walk out and just say that, well, Walmart got it. So go ahead, man. I interrupted you.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I guess I'm trying to get you to understand that the money that he's speaking of was a balance due to, I'm going back to COVID, and I tried to get money through the CARES Act, landlord assistance, but I could not get it. I even tried in Forest Park because I did not have a current lease. I keep asking him for a lease. So the eviction is stemming from pandemic money, Judge. It's not from me not paying my rent. So once we went to court on May the 18th, and I paid like almost $6,000, that was money that was going towards the balance of pandemic money. I had paid my rent on time, and what my last lease was $1,000. I was paying that from April of 21, and he tells me November in 21 that I owe him this money, a balance from during the COVID. So that's when I paid him the money. So the money he's speaking about is not me paying my rent every month. He's talking about back pay money. The eviction is back pay money. So when I gave him the money on in February, in January and February, and the judge understood that it was for back pay money, but he took my money every month for a year and a half. So the money that I gave him, it was stated that I paid him my money up front because he could not go backwards and take my money, which was almost $6,000. So that money, so he didn't want to hear that. So it was dismissed. and he turns around and refiled. So I'm under the assumption that I gave him my money in advance for my rent, from May the 18th of 22. We had a phone discussion, and I was trying to discuss about what can I get my money back so I can move. So he got my money, but he still want more money. And all this is stemming down to Judge because his property taxes have went up and he don't want to pay it. So he wanted to collect money from me from 2020. The money is not for current Judge. This is for back pay from 2019. I'm sorry, from 2020.
So it's your testimony when you paid the $5,400, that was to bring you up to current?
Yes, sir, because that's what he said, but we didn't have a discussion about the money. He just told me I owe him November. I paid my rent November the 1st. The Friday before Thanksgiving, I called him and said, well, I have an extra $300. So November of 21, I gave him an extra $3,300. I said, well, can you tell me what I owe you? Because I never missed the month and I understood the pandemic. So just the eviction.
So Ms. Campbell, I don't want to hear what he said. I want to hear what you say.
Okay.
So the $5,400 was to bring you up to current.
What he said I owe him during the pandemic, but not current, Judge. I guess I'm not making myself clear. I never missed a month. I've been here for 5 years. So I don't understand what current, it would bring me up.
Okay. Let me define it. And I'm sorry, because I got a bunch of people. So you saying you don't understand the terms. When you say I never missed a payment, but then you say I paid them $5,400 and that during the pandemic, we weren't, things with the bus system or whatever, with the school bus, everything, it sounds as though you got behind in the pandemic.
No, sir, I didn't get behind.
Okay, stop. So why did you give him $5,400?
Because he filed an eviction saying that I owed him. So he didn't want to discuss it. So I needed a place to live, Judge. I mean, I needed a place to stay. So I went in my savings, gave him the money, just nipping in the bud so I could remain in the home and sleep at night.
Ma'am, you could have, if you got $5,400, you can take that $5,400 and there's a bunch of people that's going to take that money to give you a place to live.
Yeah.
I believe that the only reason you paid the $5,400 is that you believed you're behind.
No, I have my rent receipts from during the COVID. No, I paid him $5,400, Judge. I paid him he gave me can I just find the paper right quick?
Okay. Why are you doing that, Mr. Varela? Do you have an announcement?
Yes, we were coming up with a consent agreement. So I don't know if you want me to draft it up and then send it to you later or give you the details.
Well, I'm going to be here for a while. If you can actually do that within the next 2 hours, that'll be great. I'm going to send you my email.
That would be perfect.
Okay, I just sent it to you in the chat.
Received. Thank you.
Okay, and you can be excused to send me that consent agreement and I'll sign it and it'll get filed today.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And may my client also be excused?
Yes.
All right.
And Mr. Joyner, you can be excused also.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a blessed day.
You too.
I-
Okay, Ms. Campbell, did you find the information?
Yes, sir. I found, and I don't know the gentleman's name that's representing him this morning. My first conversation with him was the Sunday before Martin Luther King holiday, was the Monday in 22. So we discussed the money. So I did what they asked me to do, to remain in the home, and I have the paperwork. May I read it to you?
Give me 1 second, Ms. Campbell. Ms. Barksdale, who's the next person? Ms. Barksdale? You're on mute.
Your Honor, I believe she's on a phone call.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Mr. Hutchinson. Mr. Hutchinson, who do you have remaining in the courtroom?
Your Honor, I have position number 11, Ms. Winbish. But she's speaking with Attorney Boxer at the moment.
Okay, I was going to ask that question because I thought that they had met already.
They did, Your Honor, but they had something else they need to discuss.
Okay.
Yes, Your
All
Honor.
right. I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell. I got a bunch of balls up in the air.
That's okay.
So you don't have, excuse me, you don't have to read to me what the document says. I just need to understand what is your understanding of that document.
Well, my understanding of this document was when he filed the eviction in December under the amount that of a balance of $8,000. So the letter, my agreement is
I'm
if
sorry.
I pay 4,000.
I'm sorry, Miss Campbell. Let me stop 1 second. I got to take a 5-minute break.
Okay.
Hello, is anyone there?
Oh, he said he needed to take a 5-minute break.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell. You got to unmute yourself, ma'am.
Okay, sorry.
So what is your understanding of the agreement?
The agreement was he filed eviction for 8,000. If I paid 4,000, it would be considered as a dead debt. So I paid, I told him I only had 3,800 in my account. So I paid the 3,500, and the letter also state with $500 to be paid over the period of time.
So what is the what is a dead debt? I don't understand that term.
It would be forgiven. It would be, the debt would be forgiven.
Okay. And is any of this in writing?
Yes, sir, it's right here.
Okay. And that was executed on what date?
January the 18th of 22.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let me go back over to Mr. Ho. So agreement entered into in January of 2022, saying that the debt was forgiven.
Yes, sir. Like I said earlier, we backtracking during the COVID. So Mr. Ho was helping Mr. Campbell by letting her pay whatever she has on a monthly basis, like 300 here, 500 there. And I'm pretty sure she knows that. So what happened was with the amount that she owed at the end of 2022 is what has been happening over the previous year that she couldn't pay in a full amount. So that's why Mr. Ho said that since you did not have the full amount, what you owe me, then just pay whatever that you agreed was the 4,000 something. But then Mr. Deborah said that she doesn't have that much money. So she paid only 3,000 and something. And then whatever left over, she will break it up and pay the monthly. So that was the agreement. And yes, she's correct. But then even that, after those agreements, she didn't pay. And like I said earlier, whatever happened on the previous.
Hold on.
Okay.
So my understanding is that there was a dispossessory filed.
Yes.
And there was a determination that the landlord had accepted monies.
Yes, that's correct, sir.
And
After the case, yeah.
After, right. The agreement that was entered into in January that basically absolved her of the prior debt.
The previous year.
You acknowledge that that agreement exists.
Yes. Sir, okay. Can I excuse, I need to plug in the charger,
yes.
The iPad frame.
Yes.
Okay, sir, I'm sorry about that.
Okay, so let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
My understanding from the announcing of the calendar is that Mr. Ho would like for Ms. Campbell to evacuate the premises?
Yes, sir.
And there's currently no lease in place.
Yes, sir.
All right, so I am ready to rule on this case. I'm sorry, I got a bunch of pages. I had this. That's where it is. Okay, I'm gonna grant writ of possession to Mr. Ho. The writ of possession will issue in 7 days. I'm not going to grant a money judgment in this case because of the testimony that there is an agreement in place that the back monies that were paid to Mr. Ho were to basically wipe everything clean. And then he issued or sought another dispossessory and didn't accept any money as a result of that. So, Ms. Campbell, you're gonna have 7 days to evacuate the premises or to leave the premises. You're not gonna have a money judgment, but you will have to move.
Okay. I have a question. So if I don't have a lease, doesn't the lease require longer by the state of Georgia if you don't have a lease? Does it require longer to move out
No,
without a lease? What is it? Is it 30 days, 60 days if you don't have a lease?
no. So you're combining a couple theories. If
Okay.
you don't have a lease, the landlord can present you with a lease. And if you don't sign a lease, after 30 days, the landlord can move to evict you. The term of art is tenancy at will. So if you don't sign the lease, it becomes a tenancy at will, and it's basically considered a month-to-month deal.
Okay, so I did not understand this lease. This is a real estate lease. This is an MLS lease.
Miss Campbell.
Okay, 7 days, sir. Okay. That's fine.
Miss Campbell.
Okay.
Miss Campbell.
Yes, sir.
If you don't know or understand anything in life, it is your duty to try to understand or find someone that can teach you. You cannot go through life saying, I didn't know. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Ms. Campbell and Mr. Ho, you're free to go.
Thank you,
You
Your
say
Honor.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Ms. Campbell. Oh, okay. Before I move on, Ms. Barksdale, are you back with us or you're still on phone? Mr. Hutchison, do you know?
Okay.
Oh, Ms. Barksdale, who's your
Yes,
next?
Judge.
Who's your next person?
Position number 22, Judge.
Okay.
Excuse me, Your Honor, this is Ms. Carr. Am I free to leave or?
Give me 1 second, Ms. Carr.
That's one of my tenants, Judge. We've reached the consent, but I think you're trying to get me through all of my meetings first.
Yes, I am. And Ms. Carr,
Yes, sir.
did you reach an agreement with Ms. Barksdale?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Hmm?
Ms. Barksdale is a member of the bar, and she could lose her bar license for making a misrepresentation. So I don't believe she's going to make a misrepresentation about this, but because she has so many cases on this calendar, I'm going to follow up with everything at the end. So
Okay.
Ms. Carr, you can leave as long as you tell me that you and Ms. Barksdale have reached an agreement.
Yes, sir, we did.
Okay. All right, ma'am. You're free to go.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Position
Ms.
22, Judge. I was speaking with the manager as you were talking, and they want to dismiss this case. I think Mr. Combs is here. I think
Okay.
he was the one on the iPhone, Judge, that you were telling to keep it charged, but we're going to
Yeah.
dismiss this case.
Okay. And I see that he's come back up.
Okay.
Let's see, Mr. Combs.
Is it possible if I can? Man.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me now? I think I was on mute.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson.
Sir.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes, sir.
Would you please stop using
sir.
curse words?
Yeah, I'm
I
done
didn't
with
curse
Mr.
you. I
Johnson.
didn't curse.
I've gotten a consent with him if he wants to leave.
Wait. And
I didn't curse though. I didn't cut all, Your Honor.
You just said God DAM. That
No, I
is
didn't. I said, can I please be excused? I said, I didn't curse, sir. I said, God.
Are you telling me? Are you?
I didn't say the
Mr.
DAM.
Mr. Johnson, yes, you did. Before you got to that point, your opening statement was, "God damn, can I do so?"
No, it wasn't. Y'all said, is it possible if I could be excused? And I just said, God, that's what I just did. I apologize, though, Your Honor. I apologize.
Mr.
I apologize,
Johnson,
but I did not cuss. I promise you, I did not say any cuss words. I'm sorry if you felt like I cussed, but I did not say any cuss words.
okay. Miss Barksdale, can Mr. Johnson be excused?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Johnson, did
Yes,
you
sir.
reach an agreement with Miss Barksdale?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may be excused, sir.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Enjoy your day.
You too.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Barksdale. Enjoy your day too.
Thank you.
Mr. Combs, your case is going to be dismissed. You may be excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Miss Barksdale, with the person in the courtroom.
That
I
is
know-
Ms. Wimbush, Judge. We have a consent.
Okay.
Number 11, I believe it is. Let me see.
She
make sure.
is, Your Honor. 1 second.
Okay.
Position
Miss-
11, she's coming, approach.
Yeah, we have a consent, Judge.
Okay. Miss Wimbush, come up.
She's coming forward. Sorry, my thing was on low. She's coming forward, Judge. Ms. Winbush.
No problem. Miss Wimbush, did you enter into a consent agreement with Miss Barksdale?
Yes.
Okay. I am going to trust Miss Barksdale to adequately and sufficiently inform me of your agreement. And I'm going to release you unless you want to stay in court until the end.
Okay,
Do you want to stay or do you want to go?
I can go.
Okay, ma'am. You're free to go. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Have a good day, Ms. Winbush.
All right,
And Your
Miss-
Honor, if you would see Ms. Hudson, I have an agreement with Ms. Hudson also.
Have a good one.
Ms. Hudson,
Yes, I'm here.
Miss Hudson, have you reached an agreement with Miss Barksdale?
Yes, sir, I have.
So again, because she's a member of the bar, I'm going to rely upon her to adequately and sufficiently tell me the terms of the agreement. And what I mean by that, for anyone else that's listening, Ms. Barksdale, just like me, we are held to a code. And if we violate that, we could lose our license. So I'm certain there's nothing about your case that's so special that Ms. Barksdale wishes to lose her career over. You can stay or you can leave until the end. What is your choice?
I'll leave, sir.
Okay, have a good day, ma'am.
Thank you. You too. Thank you, Ms. Barksdale.
Thank you. Let me see, Judge. Judge, I take position number 35 and 1 in breakout room 1.
Okay.
And I have a manager who is Dawn Mitchell. She's on here.
Mitchell. I'm sorry, I'm looking.
She's waving.
I do not.
Okay, my forehead looks like
Okay,
sunshine.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I said, my forehead looks like sunshine. You can't miss it.
I'm sorry, Miss Mitchell.
It's all right.
I'm gonna put Mr. Smith and Miss Mitchell in breakout room number 1 with
Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Barksdale. You're welcome. Mr. Bushnell.
Yes, sir.
You've been flying below the radar.
Yes, sir.
You met in breakout room.
We haven't been put in a breakout room, but I have been messaging the tenant.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. Do you want to be in a breakout room, or have you reached an agreement, or do we need to have a?
We have not reached an agreement. I made a proposal to her that my client was willing to accept. It was going to give her a little extra time and a judgment amount, but I have not received any response to that, and that was about 20 minutes ago.
I responded a couple times to the message that you sent me. I'm sorry, this is Ursula White. I responded twice.